If you are over 60, there is one hidden carbohydrate that can spike your blood sugar faster than sugar itself. Even if you never add sugar to your tea, it hides in sugar-free biscuits, baby formula, protein powders, gluten-free snacks, breakfast cereals, instant soups, and even some so-called healthy foods for diabetics. Most seniors are eating dozens of pounds of this stuff every single year without knowing. You may think you are eating light sugar-free diet or diabetic-friendly food, but inside your body, this ingredient is quietly working against you. Doctors and researchers are warning that this one ingredient may push you toward type 2 diabetes, add fat to your liver, increase belly fat around your organs, and even raise your risk of heart problems and memory issues. And no, it is not sugar, it is not rice, and it is not the potato on your dinner plate. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this carb is, how it behaves inside a senior's body, where it is hiding in your kitchen, and most importantly, what you can do about it starting today. Please stay with me till the end. This information could literally change your health after 60. Sometimes, one simple change in what you eat every day can make more difference than adding another medicine. Welcome to Health 60 Plus, the channel dedicated to helping you stay stronger, sharper, and more independent after 60. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, you've probably heard the same advice again and again. Just cut down on sugar. So you start drinking tea with less sugar, you avoid obvious sweets, maybe you skip dessert or say no to mithai or cake at family gatherings. You try to do the right thing, but even after doing all of this, your blood sugar is still high, belly fat is still there, cholesterol numbers aren't great, and you may feel tired, heavy, or foggy in the head. Maybe your doctor increases your medicine or tells you to lose some weight, but nobody truly explains why your numbers aren't improving even though you are avoiding sugar. And so you might be thinking, I've reduced sugar, so why is nothing changing? The truth is, sugar is only part of the story. There is another carbohydrate that behaves very much like sugar, and sometimes even worse, especially in the body of a senior. That is what we are going to uncover today. By the end of this video, you'll be able to walk into your kitchen, look at a food label, and clearly say, this helps my health, and this hurts it. Number 1. What is starch versus sugar? Let's start with a simple picture. No complicated science. Imagine sugar as a single little bead. One bead on its own. Now imagine starch as a long necklace made of many sugar beads joined together in a chain. Your body has enzymes, like tiny invisible scissors, that cut this necklace into individual sugar beads. Once the beads are free, they enter your blood and raise your blood sugar. Now there are two important points. Natural starches, like the ones in boiled potatoes, whole grains, beans, and vegetables, still take some time and effort for your body to cut down. They usually come packaged with fiber, vitamins, and minerals, which slow down the release of sugar. But industrial starches, the ones we're talking about today, are pre-processed and broken for you in a factory. The necklace is already chopped into tiny pieces before it even reaches your mouth. So your body doesn't have to work hard. The moment they hit your saliva and your gut, they break down into sugar very fast. On the nutrition label, they are not called sugar. They are called carbohydrates. The front of the packet might even proudly say, 0 sugar, no added sugar or diabetic-friendly. But inside your bloodstream, your body treats them almost like a sugar bomb. The label doesn't show it, but your pancreas and blood vessels can feel it. Number 2. What is industrial starch? So what exactly is this dangerous carb we're talking about? We're talking about industrial starches such as maltodextrin, modified food starch, modified corn starch, wheat starch. These usually come from cheap crops like corn, wheat, or potatoes. On their own, these crops aren't evil, but what the factory does to them is the real problem. In the factory, they grind them very finely into tiny particles, chemically treat them to change how they behave, sometimes bleach and modify them, break those long starch necklaces into shorter, easier-to-digest pieces. Why do food companies love this stuff so much? It is very cheap, sometimes just a few cents per pound, so it makes more profit. It adds bulk to foods, so they can fill the packet without using expensive ingredients like real nuts, fruit, or protein. It improves texture. It can make foods creamy, thick, or crunchy. It has almost no taste, so it can be added to many products quietly without you noticing. That's why you see it in snacks, sauces, soups, sweets, health bars, fitness shakes, and even baby formula. But remember this one line: what is good for the food industry is not always good for your health, especially after 60. Your body is not a factory. It doesn't want chemicals and ultra-refined powders. It wants real food it can recognize. 3. How industrial starch hits a senior's body. Now I want you to imagine your body like a city. Your blood vessels are the roads. Your blood sugar is the traffic. Your pancreas is the traffic police trying to control the cars. Your liver is the warehouse that stores extra supplies. When you eat normal food with some starch and some fiber, like vegetables and whole grains, the traffic flows slowly. Cars enter the road gradually. The police can manage it. There are no sudden traffic jams. But when you eat refined industrial starch, especially together with sugar, you suddenly release thousands of cars onto the road at once. For a 25-year-old, the traffic system is newer and more flexible. Sometimes it can handle this chaos for a while. But for someone over 60, roads are older and narrower. The traffic police, your pancreas, are tired from years of overwork. The warehouse, your liver, is already stuffed and sometimes inflamed. So what happens? Blood sugar spikes very fast. Your body panics and releases a lot of insulin to push that sugar somewhere, anywhere. More fat is stored, especially around your organs. Extra sugar is turned into fat inside the liver. This can lead to fatty liver and more belly fat. That soft, round tummy that feels hard inside, a lot of it is fat packed around your organs, not just under the skin. Your cells become resistant to insulin. After years of high spikes, your cells stop listening properly to insulin. This is called insulin resistance, a major step toward type 2 diabetes. Your blood vessels suffer. The inner lining of your arteries gets stressed and damaged. Tiny sticky particles of cholesterol can get trapped more easily. Over time, this adds up to narrowed arteries, heart attacks, and strokes. Your brain and kidneys are put under stress. High blood sugar and constant inflammation can affect memory, mood, focus, and kidney function. Especially in older adults, you may feel more forgetful, more tired, less steady. This is why I say, for seniors, this hidden carb can be more dangerous than sugar itself, because it arrives quickly, silently, and in huge amounts. You don't taste sweetness, but your body still pays the price. 4. What the research and doctors are saying. Now, I don't want you to just trust my opinion or one YouTube video. Researchers and doctors around the world have been studying ultra-processed foods, the category where these industrial starches are used the most. Large studies show that people who eat a lot of ultra-processed foods have a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, more heart disease, more obesity and belly fat, and even a higher risk of early death. Nutrition experts at major universities, including places like Johns Hopkins, warn that processed snacks, instant foods, sugary drinks, and ready-to-eat meals are strongly linked to chronic disease, and almost all of these foods are built from the same 3 things: refined starches, like maltodextrin and modified starch, added sugars, cheap oils. So if you are over 60, reducing these ultra-processed products is not just a small tip, it is one of the most powerful steps you can take for your long-term health, alongside movement, sleep, and stress management. Remember, this is not about perfection, it's about reducing the daily damage that happens silently, meal after meal. Let's take a little imaginary tour of a typical kitchen and grocery store together. Open the pantry and look at breakfast cereals. Many are mostly starch, with sugar and sometimes seed oils. Even the ones with whole grain on the front can be heavily processed. Biscuits and cookies, even the sugar-free or diabetic ones, often use maltodextrin or starch to replace sugar and give crunch. Crackers and chips, usually a mixture of starch and unhealthy oils with flavorings on top. Instant soups and sauces, thickened with modified starch to give a creamy or smooth texture instead of using real ingredients. Instant mashed potatoes, mostly refined potato starch, very different from real boiled potatoes with their natural fiber and structure. Gluten-free breads and snacks, often full of rice starch, cornstarch, and potato starch. Gluten-free doesn't automatically mean healthy. Protein powders and sports drinks, many add maltodextrin as a cheap carb source for energy. Processed meats like some hot dogs and sausages, starch is used as a filler to bulk them up and hold them together. Now turn the packet around and read the ingredients. You may see maltodextrin, modified food starch, modified cornstarch, wheat starch. On the nutrition label, it may look like this: fiber 1 gram, sugar 0 gram. Most people see 0 sugar and think it's safe. They might even feel proud. See, I chose the 0 sugar one. But the real question is, what are the other 17 grams? That's the invisible carb I'm talking about. That is the starch that doesn't show as sugar, but acts almost like sugar once it's inside you. One simple habit that can change your life. Before you put a box into your shopping cart, ask yourself, are most of these grams real food, or just invisible starch and oil? 6. Starch plus seed oils. The toxic duo. Industrial starch is bad enough on its own, but now let's look at what usually comes with it. Think about your favorite junk foods: chips, crispy crackers, fried snacks, many packaged baked goods. These foods are basically starch as the main ingredient, plus cheap seed oils used to fry, bake, or bind them together. So with every bite, you're hitting your body with a fast blood sugar spike from the starch, a dose of inflammation from the unhealthy oils. It's like pouring petrol on two fires at the same time, the blood sugar fire and the inflammation fire. For younger people, the body can sometimes handle this abuse for a while. They might not feel the damage immediately. But for seniors, this combination is especially damaging. It feeds diabetes, heart disease, fatty liver, joint pain, and even brain fog at the same time. That's why, in the next video, we're going to talk specifically about seed oils. Because starch plus bad oil is one of the most dangerous food combinations for people over 60. Let's quickly answer a few common questions seniors often ask. 1. If it says sugar-free, it must be good for my diabetes, right? Not necessarily. Sugar-free often means they removed sugar but added starch or artificial sweeteners. Always check the total carbs and the ingredient list, not just the big words on the front. 2. Is all starch bad? No. I am not talking about a small serving of boiled potatoes, whole grains or beans in a home-cooked meal. Your body can handle those in moderation, especially when combined with vegetables and protein. I'm talking about refined industrial starch, added to packaged foods in large amounts, stripped of fiber and nutrients. 3. But I've eaten this way my whole life. Is it too late to change? It is never too late. Studies show that even in older adults, changing diet to include more real, unprocessed foods can improve blood sugar, blood pressure, weight, energy, and quality of life. Every better choice you make now is like taking one step away from disease and one step toward more independence. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a little better this month than you were last month. 8. What you can do starting today. Let's finish with some simple practical steps you can start today, even if you are 70 or 80. Step 1. Become a label detective. On every packaged food, read the ingredients. If you see maltodextrin, modified starch, or cornstarch near the top of the list, try to avoid it or eat it very rarely. Over time, your brain will automatically recognize these words and you'll know, this is not for my daily life. Step 2. Swap one ultra-processed snack each day. One instead of chips, a handful of nuts or seeds. Instead of biscuits, a small piece of fruit with some yogurt or a boiled egg. Instead of instant noodles, a simple homemade soup or lentil dish. You don't have to change everything overnight. Just one swap per day is already progress. Step 3. Cook simple meals more often. Real lentils, beans, vegetables, eggs, fish, chicken, a small portion of whole grains. These give you real nutrition, not just empty starch and oil. You don't have to cook complicated recipes. Even a simple plate with dal, sabzi, and salad is far better than a packet full of industrial ingredients. Step 4. Add more fiber slowly. Fiber helps slow down how quickly carbs become sugar. Add vegetables to lunch and dinner. Include salads, and choose whole grains over white refined ones. Increase fiber gradually, and drink water, so your digestion stays comfortable. Step 5. Talk to your doctor. If you have diabetes, heart disease, kidney problems, or are on blood-thinning medication, do not change medicines by yourself. Share with your doctor that you are reducing ultra-processed foods and starch-heavy snacks, and ask how to monitor your sugar and blood pressure safely. Even if you only change one thing this week, for example, stop buying one specific snack that is full of starch, that is already a powerful step. Health is built from small choices repeated daily, not from one big decision. Let's quickly recap. The question at the beginning was, which carb can be more dangerous than sugar for seniors? The answer is industrial starch, especially maltodextrin and modified food starch, hiding inside ultra-processed foods. For seniors, this invisible carb can spike blood sugar very quickly, add fat to your liver and around your organs, increase your risk of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and memory problems. But the good news is, once you know where it hides and how it works, you can start taking back control. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like, share it with a parent, grandparent, or friend over 60, and subscribe to Health 60 Plus so you don't miss our next videos. In the next episode, we'll talk about the truth about seed oils and why the combination of industrial starch plus bad oils is one of the most dangerous things for seniors' health. This is Health 60 Plus. Thank you for watching, and remember, small smart changes today can protect your health for many years to come. Your age is just a number. Your daily choices are the real power.